What, are you kidding me? 56% approval in a brand new Rasmussen poll for President Trump. 56% of the American people think he's doing a great job. That is a landslide. That is awesome. And you consider everything he's up against and everything he's going through and everything that, all the innovation that he's come up with and the constant loud opposition of the media, and his numbers at 56%. You know who that beats? Ronald Reagan at this point in his second term, just 52%. It reminds me, the Gipper and President Trump together. Isn't this an amazing picture? The two of them at some function at the White House. Look at that. We got the 40th president and the 45th and the 47th president all in one spot. It's pretty awesome. So, 56%. That is historic. I always knew that actually President Trump's vision would be popular. What's really not to like about it? When you get through all of the rhetoric and the distortions, make America great again, having borders, not sexualizing children, not getting into forever wars and then not winning them, it just has mass appeal. And you think about where he was a year ago, not even a year ago. He was still going through all of this nonsense, all of this crap. And today, 56% in the polls. That's important. It's not just some number. It's important for him to get his agenda completed, right? People respond. People in the Beltway, they respect a number like that a lot. Now, a number like that will help him make the decision cleanly. I think he would have done it with 30% regarding Iraq and Iran. Let's take a look at that crazy mountain where all the nuclear stuff is. Okay, we need apparently a huge bomb that only America has to penetrate that thing. And a lot of people think that would be a great idea, actually, if America got involved. Let's take a look at another poll. 70% support U.S. military strikes on Iran. That's a lot of people. That doesn't mean it's a done deal by any stretch. Sometimes the people get it wrong. Before we invaded Iraq, that was a very popular idea with the American people as well. But there's a difference here between Iraq and Iran. Number one, it really wasn't a choice for the American people. George W. Bush had his mind made up the day he became president. He did. We know that. Actually, at his first cabinet meeting, he talked about invading Iraq and getting rid of Saddam Hussein. This is way before 9/11. This was always what George W. wanted to be, a wartime president. How do we know that? O'Neill, his Treasury Secretary, and George W., right? This was a very important guy. I mean, his signature was on all the money. And he told us that he wanted to invade. They were looking for a pretext, but they knew they were going to take Saddam out. Weapons of mass destruction, if that's an argument, great. If we can find another argument, great. But we're going in no matter what.
From the very beginning, there was a conviction that Saddam Hussein was a bad person and that he needed to go.
He says that going after Saddam Hussein was topic A 10 days after the inauguration, 8 months before September 11th.
From the very first instance, it was about Iraq. It was about what we can do to change this regime.
Now, everybody else thought that grew out of 9/11.
No, it wasn't. And we have that from a guy on the record, a Treasury Secretary, a cabinet member. So why do I raise this? Because President Trump has not made up his mind regarding Iran, and that's okay. George W. Bush lied to everybody. He's keeping his options open, and that's actually a good thing. He just wanted to go to war no matter what, okay? Weapons of mass destruction, find them. If there aren't any, fake it. But here's President Trump admitting that he's weighing all of his options, and he does not want to do this, but he might have to.
You don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do.
And it's not just like showmanship or turning this into a game show. He doesn't know yet. He wants to keep his options open. When will he actually decide? I thought this was a fascinating moment about when he would actually decide.
We're in the midst of it's a terrible thing. I hate to see it. I hate to see all that death, so much death and destruction. But death primarily is what I hate to see.
Does that mean you haven't made a decision yet on what to do?
I have ideas as to what to do, but I haven't made a final. I like to make the final decision 1 second before it's due, because things change.
How about that? It's refreshing, it's honest, it's wise. Situations change. Bush and Cheney, they didn't care about the situation. They just knew what they wanted to do, right? Go into Iraq because Daddy didn't finish the job. And all the people who went to war, tough luck on them, right? Say goodbye to your family and friends for a year. You may or may not come back, or 2 years, or multiple deployments. Yeah, Saddam Hussein was a very bad and very strange guy, certainly. And he was a bad neighbor. But we blew up the block getting rid of this one guy, and that's bad. Now, regarding Fordan, it's so much more contained. It's one operation, dropping bombs to get inside that mountain. Do we do it? Maybe. Do we not do it? Maybe. Again, I trust Trump. He's got about 1,000 pieces of data that we don't have, and I think he'll make the right call given the situation. He's weighing everything. That's not how it goes in the swamp, right? This is different, and that's why you see the coverage the way it is, but the American people understand what's happening. And they understood what was happening regarding Joe Biden, and so did China.
这个中美贸易战过程中，他们也试图帮忙啊。据我所知，美方的朋友跟我讲，这个试图帮忙，但是力有不逮啊。但现在呢，现在我们看到拜登上台了，传统的精英、政治精英这个建制派，他们跟华尔街的关系是非常密切的。所以大家看到吧，拜登的儿子被特朗普说你在全球有什么基金公司，发现没有？谁帮他建的基金公司啊？明白吗？这里边都有买卖啊。那么，所以这个时候我们以恰当的方式进行一定的这样一个表达一个善意。
All right, I know it's in Chinese, and I know we have subtitles. It's a little bit hard to follow, but the gist is this. This is a very well-respected professor and official in China, and in November of 2020, he was boasting out loud, and the audience knowingly laughed that they had the goods on the Biden, that they were paying them off for a very long time. They knew it, even though the American people actually didn't, and to the extent that there were concerns, they were ignored. You can't explain any of this stuff. A vice president of the United States doesn't bring his boy on a sensitive diplomatic trip to a communist country unless something is seriously up. And something was seriously up, right? Many, many, many millions of dollars go into the Bidens. Look at him, right? He's a drug addict at that very moment. A drug addict meeting Vice President Xi at the time. And the hotel meeting, all these people. What's that all about? Rich Joe. How did he get rich? Right? How did he get all this stuff? There's a quote that has been overlooked by history, but he said it very early in his Senate career. He was bitching and moaning about how little he was paid. Take a look at this. It's a little bit hard to read. As a simple explanation of the country and its state, there's no more perfect illustration could be given than an Associated Press dispatch from Washington, D.C., in which Senator Joseph R. Biden, Democrat of Delaware, is quoted, I don't know about others, but I am worth a lot more than my salary of $42,500 a year in this body. So what is that? That is an advertisement that he can be bought. There's a word for it, venality, somebody who is bribable, and that is Joe Biden.